What's going on, brother?
You know,
All right, guys, let's go live.
we lost,
So,
Dave, we lost your audio.
and Robert, let us know when we're live on Facebook. Dude, I like your white background, brother. Good to see you.
I'm in the set of the Tom Ferry show, man. I got to have, white space for, things coming up and popping up everywhere.
All right, and welcome to the Mortgage Coach Studio. I'm in Bend, Oregon, playing. You ever play golf here, Tom?
No, because I have these friends that live there and never invite me.
Oh, come on, man. You got to get out here. So, Robert, tell us when we're live, buddy.
You are live in 2 seconds once I put the label on the Mortgage Coach meeting.
Is this live at Facebook?
Yeah, it'll be live in our Facebook, our private Facebook group, and then we'll record it, and it will also be going into our YouTube channel later today. We'll premiere it, and we'll tag you, of course. Hey, what's up, Mortgage Coach community? Sorry we're a few minutes late. I'll own that. Sent Tom the wrong link. Can't believe I did that. Anyways, guys, it is halftime. It is June 2020, and if you're in the mortgage business, you're probably killing it. I hope you're killing it. You're doing refis, you're doing purchases, but the world has changed. And there's no question we came into this game of 2020 thinking we were going to play one game, and the rules of the game changed. So Dan thought of today's call. So Dan, first of all, thank you for the concept of today's call and just the whole thing that we're doing. Dan Keller, you are the man, brother. How would you like to frame today's call, Dan? And then I'll put my color around it, and then we'll take it away.
Yeah, with my background in prior to mortgage, being college and semi-pro athletics, baseball, I've got to meet a lot of incredible college and pro coaches, the Nick Sabans, the list goes on, right? And when you said we had an opportunity to sit down with Tom Ferry is the best of the best. He's the best coach in real estate. And so I think the best coaches know how to rally their troops at halftime. They come into the locker room like, listen, that didn't go as planned, or, hey, that went as planned, but we're only halfway home. And so really what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk with Tom, hear your, halftime speech, your halftime game plan, and then let's share this and just get this. I'm a big fan of Tom Ferry. I follow you on Instagram. You're crushing it with content. You're just killing it, man. And I think we need to get this out to our agents. We need to plug it into our businesses. So that was the idea with it. Hey, it's halftime. We have the best coach in America for the next 10 to 20 minutes. Let's roll.
Love that. So Tom, thanks for making time to jump in here, brother.
Yeah.
I want to say one more thing for anybody watching this. If you're a mortgage person, you've got Dan Keller, one of America's best loan officers, who's going to do over $100 million in production this year. Dan, how many loans did you do last month? And how many are you going to do this month?
Oh, we did 54 last month. We're going to close 67 this month.
So guys, he's just helping so many families, and you have America's best real estate coach. So this is going to be one of those calls where you want to take some notes, and then you want to share it with your agents. You want to share it with your peers, and you probably want to schedule a meeting and break down some of the ideas that we talk about. So Dan, I'm going to provide color along the way, but I'm really going to let you take the lead and co-host today's interview with Tom. So let's rock it out.
Let's go, coach. Knock it dead, baby. We're at halftime.
So first of all, I want to say thank you guys. I've been a big fan of Mortgage Coach. Savage, you and I've known each other forever. Dan, you're a legend in the space. So, hearing those kind words from you, I appreciate that, man. You're more like the typical person that I deal with. So I'm going to flip it on you, right? Yep. And say to you, so what's the biggest challenges you're having right now in your business? Because I have a feeling the challenges you have, Dan, are the same challenges all the top agents have. And I'll validate or tell you the difference as we go through it. So tell me, what's the biggest challenge you have right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is number one right now, we are heading back into 07 and 08. That's what homeowners are feeling like. I think home buyers, I don't know if I want to buy right now because am I going to buy on the verge of a bubble?
Sure.
Yeah. And then just the unknowns with COVID and the economy and the election. I call them excuses, but they're objections, and we need to know how to answer those, how to address those. So that's it right now.
So what's interesting is I just posted, with our, 7,000 plus coaching clients, mainly just the, let's call it US, North America, some Canadians in there. I asked this question: what is the biggest objection, concern, or condition you're getting right now from buyers and sellers? And your answer was the number one thing. I don't want to buy right now because what if the world falls apart?
Yep.
So listen, not a halftime speech, but a tactical approach. I started a show with my buddies over at KCM, Keeping Current Matters. You're a fan, I'm a fan. Ivy Zellman, who I'm very close to, but she's a little headier, right? Super brilliant, but more Wall Street. This is what's going on with real estate, mortgage, new construction, etc. KCM keeps it really simple. What we have is a misinformation problem, right? What we have is too much drama, not enough data.
Mm-hmm.
Too much drama, not enough data. Now, we can't argue with the people that are facing the drama. The drama is, I'm misinformed, but they don't say that, Dan. They say, Dan, I don't want to buy a house right now because I'm concerned that home prices are going to go, down. Well, of course they feel that.
Yep.
The last recession, 2007, 8, 9, is still so emotionally charged for people.
Yep.
But what most people don't know, and this, 42.1% of all homes in the US have no mortgage. 42.1, there's 120 million single family residences right now in the US, and 42.1% of them have no mortgage.
Oh.
Go back to 2007.
Yep.
If I shared the numbers, you would throw up in your mouth. It was horrible what we were doing. 2007, 8, 9, we all know, was a real estate crisis that became an economic crisis. What we're faced with today is a pandemic that has become an economic crisis. There's a big difference. So what I say is, you got to kill them with data. And the data, if you're talking to an agent, is first and foremost, look inside the MLS. The most successful agents on the planet live inside the MLS 2-3 times a day because it's basically a lagging indicator of what's going on. So when I see, for example, take my clients on the West Coast, let's take my client, Jill Biggs, right, is in Hoboken, New Jersey. So any loan officers there, if you work with Jill, she's my personal client, right? We were on pace to do about 700 transactions this year. COVID hit. We'll see. She's still going to be, 350 to 400 minimum. That's a lot of business. Every time we chat, I say, take me in the MLS and let's look at what's going on. She has 145 active listings. If you look right now in Hoboken, New Jersey, in showing time last week, there were 8 total showings on 2-bedroom, 2 baths. 8 total showings on 2-bedroom, 2 baths. Guess what, my friends? They're in a real estate challenge. They're in a marketplace that if sellers decide to start the negative domino and start reducing prices before New York and New Jersey, et cetera, really get to a more evolved state of stage 2, like we're seeing in most of the rest of the country, including even California, if they decide to start that downward spiral, we'll see an impact on prices. Will we see an impact on prices, though, the way you're seeing 2007, 8, 9? Every economist is saying 1,000% no. But let's talk about the second point, data. Everybody's freaking out over unemployment. And you know what? Listen, as a compassionate business owner, right, as a person who understands what it means to have people working with you, to, when I had a job per se versus owning a business, I get it. Everybody knows somebody that got let go. Everybody knows somebody that was furloughed. Everybody knows somebody that their hours were cut back. Maybe they're 1 week off, 3 weeks on. Here's the deal, though. Last 2 weeks ago on KCM, Keeping Current Matters, everybody, 2 weeks prior, we said, damn, what's everybody going to say? Oh my God, we're going to get to like 45 million people in unemployment. And what happened? We regained 2.5 million jobs. Then I asked their team, go deeper in the data. We have to help the agents and the lenders be the knowledge broker to pierce through the headlines of Fox and MSNBC and CNN and Bloomberg and the whole world's falling apart, clickbait, pierce through it. You're never going to get the ones that are totally crazy. You're not going to get them. We need to help the ones that are willing to listen, to see a different point of view, to be a little educated, showing them, for example, that right now, and this will be released tomorrow on our show, that when you look at the unemployment numbers today, 60% of the people that are unemployed are under age 24 years old. 60% of the people that are unemployed are under age 24 years old. How many of them were racing out to buy their next big house?
Yeah.
I bought my first house at 19. I was an oddball, right? I got a 21-year-old living at my house who's thinking, should I finish college or maybe get a job? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be buying a house right away. Now, he also got a stimulus check because he's currently unemployed.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. That doesn't take anything away from the very real 40% that are men and women of this country that have been massively impacted. But again, drama or data. I'm a fan of looking at the data because the data gets us to go from, Dan, right brain, the reason why the buyer buys the house. Oh my God, I'm gonna raise my family here. This is so amazing. Oh, the interest rate you're giving me, this is so incredible. This is the best deal ever, right? The emotion, well, the left side validates all of my decisions.
Yeah.
And I got to help customers get out of the right brain emotion. The whole world's going to fall apart. Who's going to win the next election? Oh my God, right? All that stuff, and get them to the left side. When you guys told me you wanted to buy this house, were you guys thinking about only buying it for the short term? Or is this someplace that you guys plan to be, as most Americans are, for 7, 10, 15, 20 years? Which one?
So
because
good.
if you can get them on the left side of their brain to say, now let me show you the historical values of this community. Let me show you what's happened over time. And let me show you what the Mortgage Bankers Association, what Fannie, Freddie, what everybody's saying about home price appreciation, 2020, 2021. But the reality is the data says you need to be selling way more, doing more loans, doing more transactions than you've ever known before. But let me give you 2 more data points. One is the MLS, right? That's the obvious. That's the lagging indicator to really understand what's selling and what's not. And I took you to a worst case scenario intentionally with Jill Biggs. Contrast that to Tim Smith right here on the West Coast, who maybe you guys know. What Coldwell Banker's, I think, #1 agent in California, team, personal client of mine for 12 years. Guess what? He did $45 million in sales last week. Maxine Gellens, who you know from down in La Jolla, round tripped a $10 million, as in both sides, a $10 million deal that she sent a yikes letter to as, yikes, there's no homes on the market. And I've got a buyer who wants to buy one of these 22 oceanfronts in La Jolla. And guess what? She got the letter to I can't tell you who the owner is, but it's bananas. And he's like, I haven't been in that property in 2 years. If you could sell it, go ahead and sell it. She brought in her buyer, double into the deal. We're seeing that happening everywhere. Here's what's going on. In the high end, high quality properties are selling, which means 4 years or newer, right? That's the reality. 4 years or newer, turnkey and beautiful, or ready, best lot, best view, oceanfront, bayfront, big backyard, etc. Everything else in the super luxury market sitting very stale. It just is what it is across the country. But then if you go to the mid and the lower price points, you know what's happening. Dan, what's your average loan amount?
We're about 510 right now.
Right. So you're pushing into, jumbo, into the more expensive stuff. So you're seeing it, right?
Yep.
The nice stuff flies off the shelf.
Yep.
The stuff that isn't so nice, that's massively overpriced, it's sitting there. We can live with that. You get into the average loan amount of like 125, 225, 250, that stuff.
Yeah.
Those homes, it could be crappy and it flies off the shelf. That's the reality. So the data, I'll give you 2 last things you want to think about. Are you looking at showingtime.com? Showingtime.com. I don't mean to go so hard and fast here, but I get a little passionate.
Love it.
Showingtime.com. Mike, who created this company many, many years ago, what it does, if you're not familiar as a loan officer, is you could literally go all of North America, or I can go state by state. And if you have access through your MLS, right into your local city to see in real time, day by day, week by week, or go back all the way from, to the beginning of this year and see, 2020, and then around March 10th, it dropped by 85%. And now we're racing back. And right now today, across the US, showings are higher than they were this time last year. And there's no homes on the market.
Yep.
Interest rates are low. Inventory is it's massively low, right? And showings are through the roof. Search is through the roof. So you tell me, you know what we have? We have a misinformation problem. Yep. So guess what my exercise or assignment would be for every agent and loan officer between now and the end of the year? You need to be shooting a video every single week, right? And the perfect storm, Dan, and it's hard, right, because of your level of success. And for many of the people out there, hard for you. But just consider if you and an agent sat there together in 4 minutes or less and said, hey, it's Monday, June, whatever. Here's what's happened in the last 7 days. Interest rates are now at this. Prices are here. This number of escrows, this number of closings, this number of new listings. Here's the current supply. Let's look at showingtime.com. Data's through the roof. The biggest challenge we have is supply and demand. Now, when they say, but what about the unemployment? You cover that.
Yeah.
You confront in a caring way the issue, not making people right or wrong, but data. Left brain, little less right brain. Because let me tell you right now, everyone knows this. You have between now and about mid-October before the U.S. is going to go completely bananas.
Bonkers.
In a not so positive way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm telling all my clients, Dan, like, get all of your business done, you know, like new opens, right? Around October 15th, every listing that says, hey, we want to put it on the market, let's talk about getting it on the market in January, because we go down 19 to 18% on transactions on the residential side anyway in the fourth quarter nationally. What do you think is going to happen in the most tumultuous presidential cycle we've ever seen? You have to be working you have to go to your spouse tonight if you're married and say, hey, I need to like disconnect and only work 18 hours a day between now and October 15th. But if I do that, I can make so much money that on October 15th, with my assistant and team, we can take the balance of the year off, let all that nonsense take place, and let's go to Hawaii, and who cares if we're quarantined for 2 weeks? Let's check out. But I need to do that, because if I don't, you're going to miss one of the greatest runs we've ever seen in real estate. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. You know, I follow you on Instagram. I follow you on Facebook. And one of the things I've noticed lately is you're talking a lot, which factors right into what you're saying. You're talking a lot about focus. You're talking a lot about mindset. That's why I kind of titled this today, Mindset Mechanics, you know, fundamentals. So relative to putting the right things into your mind, that's one of them. You know, I heard you talk on, I think it was today, Facebook Live, where you were saying there's, you know, 30% on the right are crazy, 30% on the left are crazy. So let's eliminate the craziness and let's focus on the middle. What are some things that we need to be doing to improve our mindset for this battle that we have for the next few months?
So, you know, everyone out here is an experienced, very well exposed individual. So I'm not going to bore you with, hey, you need a morning routine, you need gratitude, you need to read. Like at this point, if you need to hear that, you got bigger issues. You with me? So I want to break it down for you more scientifically. Your mindset, this thing that everybody keeps talking about, right? Your attitude, your view of the world, is it half empty or half full? All that stuff. Like some people were raised on milk and cookies. In my town, some people were raised on skate and surf. I was raised on Earl Nightingale, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins. Like that's the world that I have lived in since I was a young kid, even with my dad, who many of you know. The mechanics of the mindset is this. It's the answer to 3 questions. So if you truly want to understand your potential, or you truly want to understand the limitations that you put on yourself, here's the science. Your mindset is the answer to 3 questions. Number 1, what do I believe to be true? What do I believe to be true? And Dan, you, because of exposure, because of time, because of hard work, because of this growth mindset you have elevated your belief in what you believe to be true. There was a time when you didn't believe you could close 65 loans in a month. There was probably a time you didn't believe you could close 65 loans in a year. But you know what you do? Like a snake, metaphorically, my son's like, Daddy, get me a snake. And I'm like, you want a snake? He's like, 8 years old. I'm like, why do you want a snake? He's like, because I was watching this show and the show said, if you take a snake and you put it in a cage like this, it'll only grow to the size of the cage. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, so I was thinking we could let it loose in the house to see how big it would get. Right? What you've done is you've altered what you believe about yourself because you spend time with people that are doing so much more. Like that's the first one, right? So that's like common sense. You should write down today, what do you believe to be true about the mortgage business? What do you believe to be true about the future of the mortgage business? What do you believe to be the future of real estate? What do you believe is the future of your income potential? What do you believe is the truth about your life and your lifestyle, your relationships, your health? And you know what you're going to discover? That's a big part of your mindset. And whatever you believe, you act on. Here's the second question. You ready? What do you believe you're capable of? What do you believe that you're capable of? Like, I would love to be the center for the Lakers. I would love it, but I don't think I'm capable of it. I mean, you know, like outside of the fact that I can't jump and I'm only 6 feet tall and I'm going to be 50 in 52 days, probably not likely. Though Kareem Abdul-Jabbar does live down the street 15 houses from my house, right? He could probably still do it even at 72.
Yeah.
Here's my point. If you believe that you're capable, now this is the hard part. This is the mind screwer. Ready? Dan, you and I both know we have acted as if our entire life. We knew we couldn't, but we did it anyway. And there's so much power in that. I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm saying do the thing, have the power, right? That, hey, I may not believe that I can go out and do 50 loans a year or 50 loans a month, but what do I believe I'm capable of? I believe I'm pretty capable of learning, growing, asking better questions, doing the work, serving customers, being empathetic. I believe I'm capable of those things. And when you do those things, guess what? You become successful. But here's the third one. You ready? One is, what do I believe to be true? Two, what do I believe that I'm capable of? You ready? And then the last one is the one that really stops a lot of people from really ever getting, I don't know if any of you watching are religious at all, but I do believe that, you know, somewhere God in her infinite wisdom, whatever that means to you, Buddha, Allah, Muhammad, it's all good by me, dog, whatever you believe. I don't believe that this mystical being out here said, you are a child of mine, now go be an average loan officer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I just don't think that's true. I think that wealth, right? The third question is, what do you believe you're worth?
Yeah.
What do you believe you're worthy of? And here's the hard part, ready? You can spend a lifetime or 14 minutes. Because I know people that spend a lifetime trying to figure this out. I figured it out in 14 minutes, ready? What do I believe to be true? I can learn anything.
Yep.
I didn't go to high school, barely, got kicked out of most of them. I didn't go to college, but I could read, I can interview people, I can study people, I can figure out what everybody else does, and I can steal it and do it. You with me? That's what I believe I'm capable of, and I still do it today at almost 50. The second question, or capability, right? I believe that I can work harder than anybody else. Whether that's true or not doesn't make a difference. I believe that. I believe that I'm committed. I believe that. And the last one, what do I believe I'm worth? What do I believe I'm worthy of? I mean, have you seen some of the dumbasses in our world that make a fortune?
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the bad people out there that make a fortune? I have a giant capacity to care for people.
Yeah.
My income's in direct correlation to the number of people I can serve and the number of problems I can solve. Period. End of story. And I'm all about trying to solve people's problems in a repeatable and scalable fashion. Repeatable and scalable fashion. Repeatable and scalable fashion. Just like you, Dan.
Yeah.
Just like you, right? That's all I'm trying to figure out. So that is what makes up your mindset. So if you want to challenge yourself between now and this next weekend, open up your journal, open up Evernote, write down those 3 questions and see your truth. And when you see it, here's the best part. You can then say, how do I know any of that's even true? I told my mom, right, my biological mother, I called her one day and said, hey, I'm in the orange circle near Chapman University, and I'm looking at your old apartment. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, the old apartment that, you lived there when, before you and Dad got together. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Mom, I'm 49 years old. I have believed since I was probably 14 that you lived in the apartment above Felix's in the orange circle. She started laughing and said, honey, I never even lived in orange. Sometimes we hear something, my friends, and we stick it in our brain and we hold on for it to be true and real. Now, if I could be so wrong about my mom living in an apartment in orange, could you be wrong about the limitations you put on yourself? Here's your halftime speech. If you have to doubt something between now and the end of the year, doubt your limits. Doubt your limits. You have so much more in you and you got a short amount of time to do it. So you better get off Facebook and get to work. That's my answer.
I love it. I love that so much. And this is why I was so excited to get a few minutes with you today. If you're on Instagram, I know Tom just said, get off Facebook and get off social, but
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get off social, but get off Facebook for 5 hours a day and go help people.
Go help people. Follow Tom. Tom's up there with the Eric Thomases, the Ed Milet's, in my opinion, the David Goggins. And you are up there with those guys because you associate with them. I've seen your interviews with David and it's your product of that. But fill your mind full of that stuff.
Too.
What? Yeah.
Eddie, my client just listed his house. He's a great guy.
That's awesome. So, hey man, I want to thank you real quick. Every time I talk to you at Sales Mastery. I talked to you, I think in 2016. I always ask you this: what are you reading right now?
Okay, I'm not reading anything. You know what I'm obsessed with right now?
Okay.
Blink List.
Okay.
You know Blink List?
Nope.
Right. So here's basically my world. Whatever is at the bottom thumb area of my phone is what gets the most attention.
Okay.
And right here in the easiest spot of my phone is Blink List. It's this killer little app. Here's what it does. No, I'm not an investor. Damn, I wish I was. Check it out. It takes thousands of books and it synthesizes them down to either a 10-minute read or a 15-minute audio message. And guys like you and I, because we can synthesize quickly, I can speed it up to 1.5 times the speed and get through the entire book in like 7 minutes. And you know what I'm doing? I'm listening to 3-4 books a day. So get up in the morning, go for my run, 3-4 books, right? On the Peloton bike, 3-4 books. Throughout the day, 3-4 books. And I'm just trying to consume right now. I'm fascinated by Roman history. I'm fascinated by post-World War II, right? I'm completely obsessed always with, you know, whether it's the story of Walt Disney to the story of Jay-Z, like these biographies. Yep. I'm just obsessed trying to figure out right now, like history does leave clues.
Yep.
What are the lessons? You know, we destroy Japan, and Japan's one of my most favorite countries on the planet. Like, you know, omotenashi is like my main value prop. I love it. But we sent Dr. Edward Deming Jr. over there, and he taught them all of his methodologies to go create what is now this culture that was already super disciplined, but just crushing it at business, right? I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff because you know what? I can take those skills and I can drive them into my daily life with my own business. And most importantly, I can help my clients do the same. So no specific book, but 3 to 4 a day.
Love it, man. Blink List. All right.
I love that. Hey guys, I'm going to jump in.
Yep.
Tom, you are killing it. And you just gave a couple cool recommendations, which I'm going to check out.
Yep.
Mortgage Coach community, we got a lot of you on Zoom watching this. We have a lot of you on Facebook Live. I'm sure we're going to have thousands of you check us out on the YouTube channel. Did you hear how I kick things off? It's about data.
Yep.
And it's about personalizing data. It's about localizing data.
Yep.
He talked about keeping current matters. If you're not following keeping current matters, subscribing to it, integrating it into your content, you are missing the boat.
Yep.
If when you talk to a family, you don't know what their goals are, like how old do you want to be when your home's paid off? Or is paying off your home even a goal? And you just want to build wealth with real estate and do the lifetime refi till you die, which is not a bad strategy when you look at all the benefits of home mortgages. But here's the deal, guys. If you're not asking families, what are your hopes? What are your goals? What are your dreams? And then putting that into a total cost analysis, whether it's a first-time home buyer who wants to go from renting to owning, whether that's a move-up buyer that wants a bigger home, because let's face it, everybody wants a bigger office. They're going to be working out of their home more. They want a nicer kitchen. They want a better view. And there's a lot of people that want to move down, or they just want to move. So you need to be doing move-up, move-down analysis. You need to be using keeping current matters. You need to be using Mortgage Coach. Tom, what are your thoughts about the Mortgage Coach community reaching out to their realtors and saying, hey, let's do a Zoom event. I'll help you do it on Zoom. We'll broadcast it on Facebook. I'll teach you how to do some Facebook advertising so we get a bigger audience.
Yep.
I'll help people take their data, take their personal assumptions, put that into a Mortgage Coach report, and help agents sell more homes and help people reconfigure their lives. What do you think of that strategy, brother?
So we've known each other for a long time, Dave. So, you know, I used to coach this wonderful gal named Christina Martinez, who I helped her get basically to #1 in the world for Century 21. Her strategy was like, Dan, she was doing these like little seminars with like 2 or 3 couples from her church. And she'd say, okay, we're here tonight because you guys told me you want to retire, you know, and you don't know how you're going to do it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell your primary residence. Then we're going to move you into a new construction that's going to get greater appreciation. Then we're going to buy you a duplex or a fourplex. And she was doing that every week. I said, let's put that on steroids. By the time our 4.5, almost 5-year run before we just became friends and, you know, no more business coaching on that level, she had 1,400 people at the Fairmont in San Jose doing the same exact thing she used to do with 2 or 3 people. Fast forward to call it March 30th. We went through the digital transformation of the work in our home life. We went from 10 million people on Zoom to 200 million people on Zoom in 2 weeks. I started sharing with all of our clients, one of the pivots you should be making is you should be doing virtual home buying seminars, right? Inviting first-time buyers, military buyers, whatever is the criteria that you focus on the most, you're most passionate about. Align yourself with your loan officer, do it on Zoom. But here's why I say Zoom. No, I'm not an investor in Zoom. Wish I was, but I've been using them for almost 4 years. Zoom allows you to say register. So I got to go on and say, Tom and Kathy Ferry, here's my email, here's my cell. Well, check this out. I've had clients have 230 first-time buyers on a Zoom session, and their biggest challenge is because they promote it to their database, they promote it on Facebook, they promote it on Instagram, they promote it on LinkedIn. Their loan officer also promotes it, so you get a lot of push into the marketplace with good ads, good headlines, click, boom, register, capturing all their information. Their biggest problem is there's no inventory. So very quickly I switched and said, don't do first-time homebuyer seminars. Do how to sell your home during COVID. 5 mistakes to avoid in selling your home during COVID. And guess what? I've got clients in Beverly Hills that are doing this. I've got clients in New York City. I mentioned Jill Biggs in Hoboken. Dan, listen to this. She does her very first one. Now she's my personal client, right? So the Tuesday after Memorial Weekend, I'm like, hey girl, come on. You're one of my best clients. You haven't done one of these. She goes, okay, I did it. Monday, we sent the email out. We did the Facebook ads. We did the, we just boosted. I just shot a video and said, this is what we're doing here, blah, 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 right? And she pushed it out. She says, I get 55 people to sign up for a Thursday from 12 to 1, how to sell your home during COVID. Thursday from 12 to 1. I said, you didn't take my coaching, which was do it Friday, Thursday at 5:30, 6 o'clock when everybody's done with work. She goes, I already had listing appointments. I didn't have time. I said, cool, you did it. She said, I did everything wrong. PowerPoint didn't work. Wi-Fi went out. She said, I didn't care. There was only 25 people on there. I just told them the truth. Here's the mistakes you need to avoid. Here's the expectations. If agents don't understand how to negotiate with the 3 different types of buyers and their personality profiles, if they don't understand this, they don't understand that, they don't educate, 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 educate at the end. If you love to talk to me one-on-one, here's my cell phone, send me a text, or you can pay me right here, or you can email me. So I get her on Tuesday. I'm like, how did it go? She goes, well, I screwed everything up. The PowerPoint didn't work. The Wi-Fi was bad. And she goes, but you keep saying to me, you all might want to write this down, done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
Done is better than perfect. But listen, Dave, really fast. Listen, she's got 8 listings from the 25 already. So the answer to your question is yes. Get your loan officer and do a Zoom seminar.
All right. So Dan, here's one of the challenge for you, brother. I would love for you to take that playbook you just said, that headline, get one of your top agents that you're killing it with, do that event, report back what we did. Maybe we'll share the results and everything to Tom. And with Tom, we'd love to get your feedback because I think that is such a huge move, whether it's done good, whether it's done great. And here's my goal, guys. We have a community. We're going to give you the playbook of how to do the wow with Zoom, the wow with Facebook Live, because there is a difference between bad and good. There is a difference between good and great. And guys, there's a life-changing difference between great and wow. And so, Tom, would you be willing? You've given us a lot of time here, and I really appreciate it. I'm going to let Dan close out the interview, but maybe doing a follow-up, and we just center around this one strategy, and we have Dan and his realtor come in, and we just talk about what happened, what went well, what went bad. Would you be game with that?
100%.
Dan, do you think you could get one of your agents to play the game?
I'm going to tell him that Tom told him so. So yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
All right, man. I'm going to let you close it out, Dan.
Yep.
And anyways, it's been an awesome interview. Tom, thank you for coming into the community. And I'm looking forward to the next round. That will be third quarter, dude.
Shavage, I love your office, by the way. We're all very jealous.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad little office today. Next time, I hope to be out on the fairway with you, brother.
Sold.
All right.
All right, Dan, I got to bounce, man. So bring it home for us.
Bringing it home. 3 big ahas. You crushed it. There's so much value here. Listen, if you're listening this live or on replay, there's a dues that you have to pay. I want you to go right now. And I want you to follow Tom on Instagram. I want you to go subscribe to his YouTube, and I want you to follow his Facebook page. I do it. I get so much value from it. It's changed my business, man. The data that you partner up with and that you share is life-changing. The last thing, you have a sales summit. Will you talk to us about that? I think it's virtual, right?
Yes. So it's September 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And I'll just say this, if you can rally 5, 6, 8, 10, 15, 30 agents safely into a room, September 1st through the 3rd,
Okay.
Half day the first day, 2 full days following, I will spend 3 days, and you'll carve out the time that's right for you and right for your agents. I will spend 3 days showing them, convincing them, and walking them through step by step how every one of them can add 25, 35, 45 transactions to their business. And Dan, not just me, I have 15 of my Wall Street Journal Real Trends best clients who are going to do in 10 minutes or less. Here's one thing I do that generates $1 million plus in commissions. Now imagine having Tim Smith say to you, this is how I work my database. This is the questions that I ask. This is the frequency of what I do. This is the emails that I send. This is the social that I send. No stories, no hyperbole. I do this. Then let's go to Mauricio in Beverly Hills. This is how we work expired listings. I do this. And they're showing you the frequency, what they do and how they do it. Those 15 sessions alone. I mean, put it this way. Because it's virtual, I said, I want to help as many people as I can. Make it $99 a month is the starting price. So everybody gets a front row seat at $99 a month. If every one of your loan officers bought one of those, invited 2, 3, 7, 8, 15 agents, it's still only 99 bucks, right? Have a party. Let's get people better. And you and I both know the game, right? Your business and my business is the same. We're in the business of serving our customers and bringing value to them, and then finding people that match our vibe to bring value to them, because this relationship, it's yin and yang. We work together and everybody wins, but not everybody can play the game at our level. So we need to find those people. That's what we do at the summit. So check it out. Just go to tomferry.com. Just tomferry.com summit, register, sign up, because the price goes up at the end of the month. So take advantage of the dirt cheap price.
We'll have a link in the comments. Tom, you crushed it. I'm committing to a room here in Seattle. So super pumped. You crushed it today, brother. Hey, may God continue to bless you, man, and stay safe. Okay.
See you, brother.
All right.
Thanks.
Later,
I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.